What is going on, people? Your boys of the Wrestling's Worst podcast are here again for another episode, and this time we are going to take a look at this weekend's NXT Brooklyn the 3rd. As always, I'm your host, Dave Burnham, and I am joined by the biggest heel in the business, the only man that strikes fear into the heart of Papa Shango. That is Dave Gillum, otherwise known as the Butcher. Sir, how are we doing? How's your week been?
Week? First of all, when I start a podcast with week, I've not said good afternoon. I've not said, hello, my brother. Good afternoon to you too. My week's been awesome. What I'm actually going to say is 2 fucking weeks. That's 2 weeks. Or could it be 3 weeks? It could quite possibly be months. I don't know. We do these things every once in a blue moon when we feel that we've got enough content. See? Content. We're not going to talk about the same shit as we do every week. Because we don't do this every week. And we're not going to blow smoke where smoke doesn't need to be blown. I'm not going to say, no, Dave, these people are untouchable. We're not going to do anything about that. You see, I've always been criticised for the Butcher being a gimmick. The Butcher's no fucking more. This is just Dave fucking Gillum. Dave fucking Gillum. You wanted to see a wrong one. You wanted to wake up a bad guy. Bad guy. This is a fucking bad guy. And you want to talk about networks? Cyrus, ECW. He fought against networks. He wanted to be the network. You see? So, you fucking 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks of fucking shit.
2 weeks.
2 weeks of trying to make things right. And 2 weeks of being made to feel like you've done wrong. All I'm going to say is I'm going to say it because I don't give a fuck because a fucking network, another fucking show went and done it. Yeah. Swerve Talk Network, people, is no more. Mm-hmm. No more. And honestly, people, do I care? Do I fuck? Do I fuck?
So, speaking of something that's not been weak, NXT Brooklyn the 3rd this weekend. Now, we've been on record many a times, I don't watch NXT. But I do watch the pay-per-views, so I will be watching this, even though I've got no idea why people are fighting each other. I've got no idea why certain people are heels, but I'm sure you'll be able to fill in the gaps for me. So let's kick off with the opening, what probably will be the opening contest. Johnny Gargano, obviously formerly of Do It Yourself, against Andrade Cien Almas. It's got to be, for me, even though I don't watch NXT, but I'm fully aware of the split of DIY. Gargano doesn't, he's got to go over, hasn't he?
Oh, Almas for me, every single, the Almas for me now, currently, is probably, he's your fucking, I don't know, I'm going to compare him to Bray Wyatt in terms of feuds. He has a new feud every single pay-per-view. It's like, we need a guy just to fill a gap. Let's go to Almas. He'll do it.
He's like, Almas is the Dolph Ziggler of NXT.
Definitely. But the thing is, Almas is better than this. He is better than this. And I know you're not big on Japan and stuff like that, but you go back and watch his work in New Japan, and the guy's superb. And I figured a guy that used to be classed as like, a luchador, lucha libre, wear a mask and that, and they take off his mask to make him look like this sophisticated Mexican and stuff like that. For me, it's a fucking train wreck. The only reason Gargano's got a match on this, well, to be honest, I don't know why. Because obviously it's the fact that Ciampa's injured and they originally wanted Gargano, Ciampa. Me personally, would it just be better just to keep fucking Gargano off TV?
Yeah, that was my thing. Like, Cien Almas and Gargano, for me, doesn't interest me because, like I said, there's a couple of matches in this card where I have, even though I don't watch NXT, I'm still kind of in touch with what's going on to an extent. But yeah, Gargano, that is purely that he's been put in this match with Almas because Ciampa's injured. If Ciampa would have been fit, this would have been probably one of the better matches on the card. Because if you go back to what they did in the CWC, it was a fucking classic. Yeah. Absolute classic. And that's why they got put together as a team. Because I think they worked.
And let's be honest, go back and watch that CWC match, and it was under 20 minutes.
Yes. Yeah.
How many times can you say a match under 20 minutes of do you know what I mean? Be given that good. It was that good title.
No, exactly. Well, yeah, but that's the same. So that's the same for a lot of the CWC though. A lot of the matches, a lot of the matches on CWC were really, really good, but they were like 10, 15 minutes long, and it proves that if you've got somebody booking the match who's actually got a wrestling brain, right, and they know how to book an exciting, energizing match, but in under 15, 20 minutes, then you've got, doesn't matter who you've kind of got in there, especially with the CWC, you had a lot of guys that no one had fucking heard of, especially me. Being a WWE mark that I am,
it's about having the balls though to let people give them the reins.
Yeah, well, look at the cruiserweight division at the minute. Look at the 205 Live. Do you know what I mean? When they launched the CWC, and once the CWC ended, it opened all these new avenues to WWE fans. To all these, like, I bet there's a lot of WWE fans that never really watched much British wrestling, but since the CWC have now opened their eyes to a lot more British wrestling. But if you look at how a match is just played out in the CWC compared to, you take an opening round 10-minute match, how that's played out compared to a 10-minute match on 205 Live. 205 Live is just a Raw, a SmackDown, a main event, a fucking pay-per-view, a fucking whatever you want to call it. It's exactly the same as any other TV program in the WWE. There's nothing unique. There's nothing different about it. And that's what CWC gave. CWC gave, like, NXT, especially when it started, was a breath of fresh air. You had all these indie guys who, especially a lot of your Ring of Honor guys, so like your Seth Rollinses, etc. Your Dean Ambroses, where he were CZW, wasn't he? But then you've got all these guys that people are fond of, but they're not really in love with. But NXT allowed you to get in love with them. So the minute they debuted on the main roster, you were there, you were fucking on it. Like when the Shield debuted. Obviously, the Shield debuted when NXT was still in its early days. Was it Seth Rollins was the first NXT champion? Am I right there? Thinking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did he debut maybe a year after dropping the belt or something like that?
Roundabout, I think.
Yeah,
roundabout.
The point I'm trying to get is, imagine if.
Because I remember Liaki. I remember Liaki got swapped to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns had like 2 or 3 weeks on TV, coming out draped in a suit, you know what I mean, looking like this guy, and then all of a sudden he was no more on TV. And then Dean Ambrose hadn't even been seen on NXT TV.
If you listen to CM Punk it's the Colt Cabana episode, isn't it, where he says the Shield was his idea. And he approached them and he said, yes, Chris Hero, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, these will be the 3 guys, rah-de-rah. CM Punk needs to go away, he really does.
I'm so glad he wasn't Chris Hero. Because I tell you, if you'd have put a bulletproof vest on that belly.
No, but at the time though, this was when Chris Hero was in control of his weight, wasn't he, to an extent?
Yeah.
This was before he got fired, when Triple H went, you need to lose weight, Chris Hero. And Chris Hero went, I can't because my doctor said I've got a thyroid problem. He went, I don't care, you need to lose weight, Chris Hero. Yeah. And then, if you're not going to lose weight, we'll fire you. But then he went to independent scene, he just let the weight go. You know what I mean? But you've got a guy who is still as good as he were years ago when he used to be in what would he call him? Him and Cesaro's
Claudio Castagnoli, Kings of Wrestling.
Kings of Wrestling, yeah, that's the one.
Was it Kings of Wrestling?
Yeah, he was, yeah, Kings of Wrestling. But he could still do the moves in the way he is now that he did when he was in the Kings of Wrestling. He can still do somersaults over the top rope and stuff like that. So you can understand why they've looked at him again, because it's like Triple H must have had a sense of realism and thought, hang on a minute, he can't lose weight. He's actually got a thyroid problem.
Yeah.
So we can't... Surely that is... In English business, right, if you work with a company and they fired you because of your weight, but it was a medical condition, there is a claim in there.
Yeah.
I know obviously it works differently in America because they're independent, especially with wrestling, they're independent contractors, etc. But you'd be seen looking as a bad egg if the reason why you won't rehire him is because he's fat.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Especially when you compare that to some of the size of some of the guys that are on the roster as it is.
Yeah.
But
100%.
Anyway, moving on to the next match. Aleister Black against Hideo Itami. Now, from what I gather, Itami's the heel, or are they both heels?
I'm lost with this. You see, this is another one. To me, I'm going to be totally blunt. I think this whole fucking card's a complete train wreck. Because the reason I say that is because of this match particular. Black's come onto the fucking scene, and I fucking love the shit out of him. I think I like the way he looks. I like the way he portrays himself. I love his entrance. Exactly. That's what I like about it. It's very, very. And I hate. You know me, bro. I hate this. I hate saying shit like this. Gimmicky.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I do say I'm not a big fan of that shit anymore.
Yeah, but his entrance should be everything that Baron Corbin's entrance should be.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. I think I've got a problem with it because go back a few weeks. Now I know you don't watch it, so you probably you've probably heard about it as well.
Yeah, I read it. Yeah,
Itami was feuding with Chris Hero.
Yes, I remember that.
He turned heel on Hero.
Yes.
Now all of a sudden, I see Aleister Black walking backstage, minding his own business. The next thing you know, all he is, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Who's it? Oh, Itami's attacking Aleister Black. But it was the greatest standoff because Itami's going shit, fucking going nuts, and Aleister Black just grabs his collar, you know what I mean, does his cool thing, straightens up his collars, and just stares at him as if to say, "I'm gonna fuck you up, son." Oh, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? But it's kind of, I don't know. I just look at it, and even now I've just gone back. Funny enough, and I just looked up Chris Hero to see if there's anything on him. What the fuck's gone on? Is he injured or anything like that? And I can't find shit.
I'm saying that I've not.
So
I flirt with the dirt sheets every couple of days or so, and I can't say I've seen anything.
Maybe I can look at it and think maybe they kind of looked at Hero and thought this lad needs to go up to the main card.
Yeah.
Let's not fuck about with him.
Yeah.
Let's not kind of.
Well,
let's not create a storyline. Let's not create a storyline, a feud which people will kind of talk about. Because if they talk about it, then you've got to keep it going.
Yeah.
Maybe that is it.
You know, the last takeover was Hero. I'm sure it was the last takeover.
I think he was in a tag match. I think he was in a tag match with what's his name, Strong.
Was it not 3-on-3, or was that the takeover before when he was?
Something like that. I think he was in a tag match with Strong and someone else.
Yeah, and Hero came out as a surprise partner.
Against it was against Sanity.
Yes, yeah.
It was against Sanity.
Yeah. So it feels like since his return that. So I know when Hero first came back, wasn't he pushed in the main event picture?
Yeah.
The world title. Yeah. Well, the NXT title.
But I personally would like to see him in a tag team with someone.
But would it have to be somebody? Because what you got to think about is it's a weird one with Hero because you've got two styles within one guy. You've got a big pound for pound wrestler. I reckon toe for toe he could fisticuff with anybody. Yeah. But
he has to be a heel for me though.
But on the flip side, Chris Hero could out wrestle majority on the fucking cruiserweight division.
100%.
So
he could, yeah.
So if you're gonna, what I'm saying is, if you're gonna partner him with somebody. What sort of style would you partner him with so it contrasts? Do you like for example,
he's got a weird, very, very weird hybrid type of
Do you know a bit style, person to partner him with? Kevin Owens.
Do you know what? You fucking freak.
Him and Kevin Owens would be a great team. I was going to say that,
but I was listening to you talking. I was actually going to say that, dude.
Kevin Owens would be a great because they dress quite similar.
I like it. No, I actually believe because I just think they're both when you look at them and you listen to the two of them talk, they're both egos, but they're both kind of complement each other.
Yeah, but could you imagine them two against, I don't know, let's go with Sanity or something like that. No, we bring them to main roster. So let's say they're going up against the Usos, and they've got Jey Uso in some tag team combination power move. And then all of a sudden, they both go up to the top rope and both hit fucking senton bombs.
Yeah.
What a team you've got there. Like, I'm a big fan, and we'll move on to when we get to the next match. I'm a big fan of the Authors of Pain. Big fan of the Authors, because I like big powerhouse teams.
Yeah.
But what you'd have, if you put Chris Hero and Kevin Owens together, you'd have a powerhouse team who could also fly around the ring like fucking cruiserweights.
I mean, I look at it.
The second coming of Kevin and Chris.
But the thing is, I mean, revert back to what we were talking about. We've got a fucking habit here of just going boom.
I know.
Itami versus Itami's lost his way with me.
Yeah. Well, Itami lost his way after his first injury, and then when he came back and then got injured straight away, it was like.
But I do like the idea of a heel Itami. I do like that.
Do you know what
because
I think? Do you know what? Just for a little bit of different, and you know me, I love different. I love thinking outside the box. Itami gets called up to the main roster, and him and Nakamura have a feud, but their promos are purely in Japanese.
That'd be amazing, like Asuka does.
Yeah, they're purely in Japanese and insulting each other in Japanese.
I think that'd be superb. But the thing is,
a little bit of mystique to it as well, because you want unless you were fluent in Japanese, you wouldn't be fully aware of what they're saying to each other, and you'd probably be able to get away with being a little bit more aggressive with your words when it's a foreign language.
Mm-hmm. I think the thing is, he's been hard done by, like we said, through injuries, so his career almost has been hindered. We've not seen the best of the guy that walked out and had freaking a massive. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
when he walked out of the NXT,
the originator of one of the most over finishing moves in the world.
Oh, Kenta was freaking. You know what I mean?
See,
you don't know who he is. Just go watch him. The guy's the shit. I mean, just look at the kind of following that guy's got. You fucking get a full freaking stadium shouting GF. You know what I mean? Yeah. Go to sleep.
Yeah, well, that's
GTS,
it. Imagine.
GTS.
It's like when they went over to Japan. Was it Japan when they had Brock Lesnar over in Japan? Where they had Kevin Owens and Finn Balor for world title, NXT title. I'm sure it was Kevin Owens. But anyway, the reason I'm saying is what I'd like to see is that happen again next year, but the main event be Itami and Nakamura. Could you imagine the fucking crowd, the atmosphere? I
think what they should do, right? Is stop fucking about with it with Itami, right? They've got it there in terms of money. The guy can do it. The problem is getting him on the show, which will let him do it, and that is SmackDown. Don't make the mistake of putting him on Raw. There's too many egos on freaking Raw.
Could Itami work? I know it's a bit of a step down, but we're just on hypotheticals. Could Itami work in the 205?
No. It's fucking way. That 205 needs to be shut. Done. Dusted.
I agree.
Done. Dusted. I don't want to see anything coming off this fucking women's tournament either with let's make a fucking women's division. I don't want it.
Well, can you remember way back when? Can you remember on a podcast that we both used to work on? Can you remember way back when I said the only thing that will change the cruiserweight division is if they start integrating them with roster superstars. And I said this
100%.
months ago. And they've done that, right? And they have done that. Like I don't even know where this has come from because I couldn't fucking stand Titus O'Neil. Right? But for some reason, Titus Worldwide, I fucking love it.
I love it. I love it.
I love it. Like, I think they have found the perfect role within WWE for Titus O'Neil.
I love he's taking a jobber from every divisional and he's just bringing them into Titus Worldwide.
And I'm gonna get
he's making them great again.
It's fucking genius. It's absolutely.
I like
it. To be fair, it's everything that Abraham Washington should have been originally.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that was the plan to build the AW. Was it AW Enterprises or whatever it was?
Yeah.
I think that was the plan, wasn't it? Add millions of dollars, and then add various. But obviously they decided to give him a fucking live mic, didn't they? And look what happened there.
That was the problem.
But anyway, let's finish on Aleister and Hideo. Who's gonna? I think.
It's got to be Black. It's got to be Black.
Yeah, because I think
it has to be
big and better things that are ahead of this for Black, and I think. The Itami, it sounds like with what you've told me and what I've read and stuff, it just sounds like that this is another one, very similar to the match before. This is another one that's just been two people put together because we don't quite know what to do with him. But anyway, moving on. Tag team titles. The authors of Pain, who are also the authors of a fine poetry book. And if you're not aware what I'm on about, guys, Google Authors of Pain poetry. That's all you'll need to know, and it'll be there straight away. It's available on Amazon. You can download it for free. The Authors of Pain, plus various guest writers, including Kayfabe News. They write a book of poems, and it's fucking outstanding. But they are your current champions, and they're going up against Sanity. Now, you may have to fill in the blanks here, Dave. Which members of Sanity are going up? Is it?
I think it's Killian Dane,
Eric Young?
I'd expect it to be Alexander Wolf. I would like it to be Eric Young.
Is EY being more of a manager than a wrestler?
I don't get this shit, man. I really don't, because the guy's better than this.
We need Super Eric.
I like it. I like it because
Super
I like
Eric
the
on
thing.
SmackDown.
No.
Super Eric was fucking brilliant.
No
that
chance.
tag team match, fuck off.
No.
Fuck off.
No, man. You might as well have fucking Eugene.
And he went backstage, come back out of Super Eric and won the titles. Fuck yeah. Fuck
not
yeah.
a chance.
We're brilliant.
Never in a million years. I like American Psycho. You know what I mean? I like this. The guy is nuts.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The guy is nuts. I like Eric Young being Eric Young, and I love Sanity. Nikki Cross, absolutely superb. That girl just epitomizes hardcore. You like hardcore, mate. She she's Scottish.
Oh, she ICW.
Yeah. She epitomizes it, man. She's so good. And then you've got obviously Killian Dane he's also a British wrestler.
Yeah.
Northern Ireland guy from Belfast. Another one. So fucking, he's ruthless. He's such a powerhouse, and you like powerhouses.
Yeah.
Alexander Wolf, I'll be honest, he's probably the only one I'm a bit with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't know him. I don't understand him. I've not seen enough of his singles work to go, oh yeah, he's decent. But I love the part he plays in it. He's almost like like when you were little shit when you were younger, and you'd have one part of your gang, which would be the little horrible little bastard that you'd go, right, run down there, taunting them kids around this corner.
Yeah.
And that's what Alexander Wolf is. He's the one that stands at the front and then all of a sudden works his way to the back when the big guys go forward. He's the guy that entices you to chase him. You know what I mean? And then all shit breaks loose. But then against these two big guys, Authors of Pain.
To be fair, I think it's time for the Authors of Pain to be on the main roster.
They have to.
So
yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you.
Wins this.
I don't see what you can gain from. To be honest with you, I don't see what you can gain from having them continuously just bury.
That's it. Every tag team they've come up against, they've kicked fuck out of.
Yeah, you've got to come to a point where you have a tag team, and let's be honest, it's supposed to be. It's almost. I know you've got the developmental, part of it behind NXT, but NXT as a whole was built on a development company.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's a development.
Showcase.
It's a training centre. That's it. It's a training centre. But they still tour. They do live shows. Yeah, they do pay-per-views. Yeah. So as much as it's a development centre, it is also its own entity. It's also its own company. And for me, having the Authors of Pain just dominating the tag team, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it doesn't showcase what you've got behind.
I mean, your other tag teams well.
It should be a case of these guys. I mean, it's like Asuka's for 500 Day. No, it's not about breaking records and holding titles for this amount of time. It's about bringing everything through. Which, for me, when I look at the Authors of Pain, I'm like, how many people have you got to beat before you go up?
Yeah.
The guys don't need to speak. They've got Paul Ellering to speak for them.
Who's one of the best.
And Sanity. It's a case of what do you do? If you have Sanity lose again, then you might as well just pull Sanity up to the main show. Don't have him just roll over and lie down, or just disband the whole thing and have Eric Young go for the title.
Yeah.
Because to me, Sanity's a big group, and the fact that they've made a thing of adding the whole group of Sanity to this new WWE 2K18 game. And their entrance looks absolutely phenomenal on it. It looks amazing. I'm not big on WWE games, man, but I almost wet myself when I seen some of the likenesses.
I've not played a WWE game since maybe I think I flirted with like 2K13.
Yeah.
But
you just have a look at the screenshots of some of these likenesses.
No, I've seen some.
Anything like it.
I saw the Seth Rollins one. And
unreal.
Looked spit. But to be fair though, in 2017, man, the technology's there. The game should be the likeness. Look at FIFA's. Look how FIFA's have progressed over the years. NXT titles. Then do we reckon Authors of Pain are walking out still champions, or we're gonna have a new set of tag titles, tag champions even?
I think the way, whichever way you look at it, it's 4 against 2. So I think the best thing to do is it's got to be Sanity. It has to be. It has to be. I mean, you got to remember that shake-up's coming up.
Mm.
The shake-up is coming up, or they're teasing it for after SummerSlam. So,
do you know what would be funny with this shake-up?
Something's got to be done.
If they just kind of just revert back to what it was before they made all the mistakes in the original shake-up.
Yeah.
Like everything that made SmackDown.
Send the Miz back to SmackDown.
Send the Miz back to SmackDown. Dean Ambrose back to SmackDown.
Yeah, that's no. I'll just freaking that'll just baffle me. I think what they need to do is give NXT a choice.
Yeah,
NXT needs to have send people back down.
Back to NXT. Thank you. Yes, totally agree.
Send people back down.
Totally agree.
Stop bringing people up and then underutilizing them.
Well,
it don't make sense.
One of the best segments on WTV for me at the minute is the Fashion Files with Dango.
Nice.
Now, what's stopping them? Because they're not wrestling for some reason. They had their couple of matches, and then it's now all focused on the skits, and the skits are funny because I'm a big fan of backstage stuff. I'm a big fan of stuff that breaks up a show. Breaks up matches. If a 3-hour Raw was just match after match after match after match, it'd get boring quick.
Yes, it would.
As much as we all love wrestling and we watch it for wrestling, it would get boring quick. It needs backstage segments. It needs these little snippets. It needs vignettes.
Yeah.
And the Breeze angle at the minute with the Fashion Files is fucking outstanding. So what's to say they don't drop down to NXT and do a little bit more investigating down there?
I'd like that.
Could you imagine an NXT weekly show and all of a sudden Breeze angle just appear in the crowd, just looking for clues and stuff?
The thing is that they're better. That'd be fucking brilliant. Yeah, just have them randomly show
up
and start searching people.
Yeah, and then randomly show up on 205 Live.
Yeah, I'd like that. Just have them literally float around every show.
Yeah, just looking for evidence.
No, I'd like that.
They've still not nailed on who keeps trashing their office. Even though they keep blaming the Ascension keep coming up with fucking reasons as to why they weren't there. We've got alibis. It's all good. So it's finished on that then. Officer Pain, Sanity, who's winning?
It's got to be Sanity, isn't it?
Yeah. Moving on, then, so it's NXT Women's title. It's Asuka. Got her as your reigning champion. She's had the title now for about 4 years. Going up against Ember Moon.
500 plus days, man.
It's ridiculous. For what?
Asuka's had this.
Yeah, but for what?
This is exactly what I've just said.
Yeah.
I've just said that this minute ago. Why do we feel the need to break records, right, when you're in a developmental territory? I don't care what anyone says, whether NXT being the best product. That is the best product that WWE have got them in, or it was. I believe it's lost its stride.
Yes.
I
just firmly believe they've just called up too many people at once.
It's because they're infatuated by bringing people in, the ex big guys in certain promotions that they come from, whether it be your Bobby Roodes, your Eric Youngs, your Drew McIntyres, it was Drew Galloway. They didn't believe him when he was in the company in the first time, so why are they going to believe in him again?
They treat him like shit. They treat him like absolute utter fucking dog. Especially how they pushed him. If you think how they pushed McIntyre to begin with as the chosen one, the future, Vince's fucking personal pick. Do you know what I mean? They pushed him to the moon. But then he wasn't getting over, and for me, I didn't feel in his original run that McIntyre's promos were strong enough. I don't know whether that's American fans that just don't kind of connect with the Scottish accent enough.
It's a Scot, isn't it? Yeah.
But they still tried, and I'm in that small group that enjoyed 3MB. I thought 3MB were brilliant. I just thought, again,
there was big plans for him though, wasn't there? Up until McIntyre broke it. Did he break his arm?
Yes.
Or something.
Something like
and then
that.
they just went into oblivion. You know what I mean?
But it's like I can understand why they've brought McIntyre back in, because McIntyre.
Can you imagine if they'd have let Jinder be the way Jinder is now in that group?
Oh Christ!
Just how strong they'd have been.
No, exactly. Well, no, but to be fair, we spoke about this before. Look at Heath Slater at the minute. Well, not in the minute. Heath Slater for the last year. Heath Slater for the last year goes into a match, and people don't instantly think, well, Slater's not going to win.
Yeah.
Slater's
they want him to win.
Yeah, you want him to win. I take it all the way back to Raw 1000 and the build up to Raw 1000 when Slater was fighting Vader and Sid and Lita and all that. That put Slater over. That got him over. Do you know what I mean?
I believe the company wants to utilize Slater.
I do.
They want to utilize him, and in my opinion, then you need to stop sticking in with people like Rhino.
Yeah, no, but I think I can get the idea behind that originally, because it was we're going to put you in the competition, and if you can find yourself a tag partner and win the tournament, you'll get a job. So he's been feuding 2 weeks before with Rhino, and this is Rhino who's just been brought back into WWE, who's still a name to an extent to a lot of people. People still remember Rhino, whether that be his ECW run or his WWE run with Edge and Christian or his hardcore division run. People remember Rhino. So I thought at the time it was a good combination, because you had this. Well, it was the man beast Rhino. Do you know what I mean? The guy that he will fucking run through you, and Heath Slater's there just to pick up the scraps, and it worked. Where it turned, where it should have. They went one way where they should have gone the other way, was the little segments at the trailer park with Rhino just walking around eating fucking cheese and crackers.
Cheese and crackers.
Yeah, I just didn't get that bit. The rest of it I got. Like, I loved Heath's wife. I thought she was brilliant casting. Brilliant, especially when Renee Young was trying to interview her. It's fucking genius. But then you've just got Rhino, who's supposed to be this fucking intimidating man beast walking round the sides, eating fucking crackers and cheese. It just didn't make sense. I just didn't understand. And he still does it to this day. To this day,
does
he walks around backstage
and he still has,
people.
And he still has old Maurice chucking his crackers.
Yeah, he offers people fucking crackers and cheese.
Oh, fucking hell.
But
From
anyway,
fucking Asuka and Ember Moon to fucking crackers and cheese.
Crackers and cheese from Asuka and Ember Moon. So, speaking of Asuka and Ember Moon, who's going to walk away with the title? I think, I like Moon.
It's got to be, it has to be Ember Moon. Enough is enough. Get Asuka back.
Is she ready to carry a
100%, 100%, mate. 100%. I want to see Asuka versus Charlotte.
It's a very thin and depleted roster. So, the main event then for NXT Takeover the 3rd. For the NXT title, it is the glorious one himself, Bobby Roode, against the Scottish. I was going to say Scottish Supernova, but that's already been taken. I
thought you were going to say that. Then before you said, going to say it. Scottish fucking Supernova.
Fucking Noam Dar's got that nickname, hasn't he?
I think the problem's been in with this whole thing is they brought McIntyre back. McIntyre had already signed dates he was required to work. So that clearly shows the lack of depth in the division, which then brings me back to, it's not a case of lack of depth. It's a case of you're unutilizing talent. Eric Young.
Well, tick that box. Let's look at what Sami Zayn has actually done since he's been called up. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And I'm a big Zayn fan. I remember, as much as I don't watch me indie wrestling, I have seen a few El Generico matches. I was aware of El Generico. It's not very rarely that when WWE sign an indie guy, I'm like, oh yeah, I know him. But I knew Sami Zayn or El Generico when they signed him, and I knew how good he could be. But what you get at the minute is just this wet lemon who hardly wins. So for the past 2 years that Sami Zayn's been on the main roster, or nearly what it is, you could have had him in NXT still and helping to develop the main roster when you've just been saturated by losing Kevin Owens and Finn Balor in space of 3 months.
I mean, you don't want to oversaturate NXT, but looking at it, there is key areas which lack key people. And then you look at it from a point of view is, have you got guys on the NXT roster that, in all honesty, are bringing anything to the table as such? You know,
I wouldn't say so.
You know, there's a couple there which, to be honest with you, I think could do with going, because it's either you bring them up onto the main roster and take a chance on doing something different with them. One being Almas.
Yeah, but let's look at Roderick Strong, for example. Right? I know. Again, he's another one. I've never seen him wrestle.
I love Strong.
Oh no, tell a lie. If he was part of that 3-on-3 at the last takeover, I would have seen him wrestle there. But yeah, Roderick Strong, obviously, I'm aware of him being in Ring of Honor. I'm aware of him being one of the big names, or the bigger names in Ring of Honor. But I look at Roderick Strong as a character, as a gimmick, and I don't see anything.
No,
I just see.
I think the problem is
another plain wrestler. Don't get me wrong. He's got moves and that, but I'm not saying this from a wrestling standpoint. This is from a character standpoint.
Yeah.
He's a plain-looking generic wrestler who just wears pants and knee pads like every other cunt on roster.
I think what I'm going to say is, see, I don't mind ROH, but for me, ROH has always been one of them companies that it fixates everything on what happens in the ring and only from a moveset point of view.
Well, look at
you don't see a hell of a lot of promo stuff done.
Well, you don't really get the heel
and if it
face.
Is, it's only done by certain people.
Yeah, well, you don't really get the heel and face dynamic in Ring of
Honor.
With a handshake before the matches and stuff like that. You don't.
See,
I mean, how can you build a blood feud?
It's hard for me.
A blood feud when they're shaking hands before they kick off.
That's my issue.
You can't.
I mean, me personally, Roderick Strong's style in itself would say to me, you bring that guy in as a heel. They did that from day one when they brought him in. He had that certain heel aspect of him, and that's what they should have kept him at. Not have him come out and shake fucking Ty Dillinger's fucking hand and be best buddies with Chris Hero and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have him come out and use his moveset as dangerous. I am dangerous. I'm going to mesh. You know what I mean? I could take you out with this move, this move, this move. He was almost, when you look at his style in ROH, he was very much ROH's answer to Dean Malenko in WCW.
Yeah, I can see that.
Everything about him. The problem was Dean Malenko could walk out with a title on his shoulder and a mic in one hand. Do you know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Dean Malenko could walk out, I am the champion, and I've got a mic, and I'm going to say, do you know what I mean? And you will listen. Roderick Strong walks out with a mic, and you're automatically going, shh. Do you know what I mean? Because he's got that sort of monotone voice as a face. As a heel, he needs to be tested. But in all honesty, how do you develop someone that you would already consider to be developed?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You are putting a lot of these developmental guys in developmental, and they're already ready to go.
Exactly.
Like, could you imagine AJ Styles have been in fucking NXT?
Yeah.
That would have just been fucking sacrilege.
This is what I think I've been trying to get across is, for me, NXT is what it stands for. When it came on board, they brought that TV show in on the network called is it Breakdown?
Yeah, Breaking Ground,
yeah. Which showed what goes on behind. And for me, it's all NXT is basically in danger of becoming a show away from that.
Yeah. No,
and that worries me because I would say in the last 12 months, I've gone from loving the shit out of NXT to not wanting to miss it to kind of going, you know,
that's it. It used to be unmissable, and now it's meh. Because this takeover, when it gets to the next takeover, everything will be different again.
Well, I'm not seeing it. But I'm not seeing anything being developed.
No, it's just.
I'm seeing the occasional.
And now we'll put these two together, and you two can go together as well.
It's frustrating. It is frustrating. I mean, the only person I see going over from this really, and again, fucking hell, we could revert back to the shake-up. Are they going to pass the torch to Galloway, or are they going to go for one? Let the feud stretch, because let's be honest, we really haven't had a feud between the two of them, have we?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you know,
from what I gathered, I thought that they were pushing Roderick Strong towards having the title match, and it seems like all of a sudden McIntyre's appeared, and I'm going to save pro wrestling. And he's going to save NXT from Bobby Roode, and
it's a tough one for me because I don't see any of them losing, but I see a count out or something.
So some form of dusty finish or something.
Yeah, I just don't see either one taking a loss. Because to me it'll weak. If Roode pins McIntyre, then he's just going to come out as an angry Scotsman that, you know, it was undefeated, but he was only undefeated for like four matches. Yeah. Bobby Roode loses the title. is he going to want his rematch, or is he going to pull him up to the match?
See, that's
to
the
be honest,
thing.
I'm
not
sold on it.
See,
I'm not sold on it.
But if Bobby Roode loses, that surely should state that he's now going to be the next on the main roster. But if Bobby Roode gets clubbed to the main roster, I don't know. I think my fear about Bobby Roode is the same fear that I have about Finn Balor, which I am fucking so happy that I'm backing up my original statement. Or Finn Balor is backing up my original statement. He's nothing but an entrance. And that's my concern with Bobby Roode. Like, I love Bobby Roode back in fucking TNA when it was.
Oh, me too. Me too. Yeah, well, I heard this thing, and I know you're not a big TNA fan, right? No, really, fucking hell.
Love it.
He loves it like he loves Finn Balor.
While we're on here, before you jump in with your comment, I'd just like to add that I noticed yesterday, and I don't know if I'm late to the party, but I noticed that GFW's Twitter handle is GFW Wrestling. Now, I'm fully aware that the W in GFW stands for wrestling, yeah? So the company on Twitter is Global Force Wrestling. And the reason that popped in my head, because can you remember, obviously being a football fan you are, you remember when the, I fuck knows what it's called, I think it's the Checker Trade Trophy now, when it used to be called the LDV Vans Trophy.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what the V in LDV stands for?
Van?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the Laurent Dwent Vans or something. So it's literally it's the Laurent Dwent Vans Trophy. And that's what made me think, I was like, go on TNA. And TNA as well, right? And I put this on, I got into a little bit of an argument on the Impact's fucking Facebook page. I'm taking after you see, Dave. You've had that bad influence.
See?
And I put on, has anybody realised that even though the company has now changed to GFW, the URL for the website is still impactwrestling.com? And then I finished with, don't forget, guys, you can get all your WWE merchandise at www.raw.com.
Well, I'm going to answer that, right? Funny enough. I seen something this morning. See, this is why it's called Wrestling's Worst, so we might as well discuss Wrestling's Worst promotions. So I'm going to do it, right? And I seen something, and it did get me a bit interested. I thought, Jim Cornette.
I know, yeah.
Jim Cornette. You may have, you know what I mean? You've done something which hasn't been done in the last freaking 18 months, and you've got my attention with one picture, right? But then it goes from getting my attention to showing me the brand new freaking GFW titles.
Oh, they're bad.
To which I thought, oh my God, I really need to comment on this. So I found a perfect GIF, being a favourite film of mine, Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby. And there's a famous comment in that when he says, if you're not first, you're last. So I thought, I got to do that. The colouring of Olympic ceremonies is gold for winning, silver for second, third for bronze. So I thought, wow, this is going to be good. How fitting it is that a guy comes out and basically says he pays Bobby Lashley's wages. How fitting it is that you have silver titles for a lower tier promotion, and it clearly shows where all your gold has gone.
Yes. Jeff Jarrett sold it. That's the thing, Jeff Jarrett. Money for gold. Cash for gold. Jeff Jarrett.
You've got silver titles. Silver titles.
Yeah, but they're not just silver though. And they're like silver and green and silver and blue.
It looks like someone's got a bunch of cardboard, cut it out in the shape of a belt, and wrapped it in tin foil.
Yeah. And have you noticed as well how the Anthem Owl keeps popping up on various belts? Well, on the world title. The Anthem Owl.
I've seen a comment earlier on. I seen a comment earlier on, and I thought, fucking, I'm not gonna deliberately piss people off. You know what I mean? And I see this comment of this guy, and he put, titles look amazing. Would have really liked the picture of an owl on it, though. And I thought, you fucking bellend.
Do you know the thing is, though? I love some TNA fans of how fucking passionate they are for their brand. You can't fault it, to be fair.
Do you know what I mean?
But a little
I ain't going to abolish people for passion, but let's put a picture of a fucking owl on a title belt. We're gonna have a big 6 foot plus freaking man built like a brick shithouse walking around with a belt with an owl on it.
With an owl on it.
an owl. You know what I mean? These fans are the reasons. These fans are the reason that there's people like me that deliberately gold you.
Yeah.
Because you make stupid ass comments. Could you imagine? Freaking hell! Could you imagine the WWE having a mascot? Couldn't you imagine us putting the what was it? What was his name? The one Pete Rose used to gobbledygooker. Could you imagine us putting a gobbledygooker on a freaking title?
What about
no?
What about Swagger's soaring eagle? But think about it. Think about it.
I actually like that. No,
go back.
I love that. No, I'm going back to a traditional title there. Yeah. The winged eagle belt.
Yeah, buddy. Right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they were cool. And the reason they were cool is because they stood for something.
Yeah.
An owl. Come on, people. There's a reason Rebby Sky says fuck the owl.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a reason.
An owl. But let's finish then on the NXT card with, as I say, so the main event, Bobby Roode, Drew McIntyre, who's walking out of Brooklyn the Third as your current reigning, defending NXT champion.
It's good count out. I'm going to go for a double count out.
I'm going the same way, but I'm going Roderick Strong interferes in some way. And Roderick Strong causes the DQ.
That could be one. That could be there, you know?
Yeah.
That could be there.
Well, I reckon.
He's not going away lightly.
He's gone. Neither. Do you know what I mean? He's not on the card.
Yeah. You could be onto something there.
You ain't got a match.
Yes. No, you could be onto something there, you know. You got to create something out of nothing, haven't you? I'd say that. I mean, yeah, I would probably be more obliged. Yeah, no, you could be onto something there.
I reckon. I tell you, I just need to stop.
I'm gonna stick with mine. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah. And if I could just add on to this, we've obviously just finished the last show, but we're missing last match, but we're missing something now, aren't we?
Adam
Cole has just signed with the company. Baby! He's just signed. So we know how WWE, NXT like to put people in the front row or kind of sneak them in.
No, he's terrible.
No, he's not.
Terrible. He's generic.
No.
He's generic, long hair, beard, trunks, shoulder pads, knee pads, elbow pads. Well, not shoulder pads. He's just he's another. His gimmick is him doing a move, then turning around to the crowd going, Adam Cole, baby. Nah, fuck off.
Yeah, but I like it.
No, but the thing is though,
I like it
because we live in the world where if you're on the internet, you've got to like certain people. There is a massive market for Adam Cole. Massive market, and I think
massive.
I think they probably
Adam Cole, right? Adam Cole for the WWE could potentially be the new CM Punk.
I totally agree because he's
That's
how
I look at it.
Bits of Adam Cole, like I said, The thing is that Adam Cole for me is I don't like him by proxy because of who he's associated with, the fucking Young Sucks. Because he's associated with them by proxy, I don't like that. I used to like Marty Scurll. I don't like Marty Scurll no more now because he's associated with them fucking pair of clowns.
Yeah.
And that's my issue with Adam Cole. But Adam Cole for me is just there's no character about it. He's just a generic guy. He looks generic. He's just got long hair. He's like a thin Chris Hero. He's just a generic looking guy. God. And all I know, granted, I don't watch much New Japan and whatever, and Ring of Honor, whatever, but all I kind of get, the vibe I get from Adam Cole is Adam Cole's gimmick is Adam Cole does a move, looks to the crowd and goes, Adam Cole, and then all the crowd goes, baby! That is gonna...
I love it. No, I love it.
Yeah. Right? So do fucking hundreds of thousands of other people. But that's gonna have, for me, Ty Dillinger effect.
It'll dry out quick. It will dry out.
It'll dry out too quick.
Or
when you see Adam Cole wrestle with the Young Sucks in the fucking NWO 2.0.
Yeah, but I didn't like them anyway.
But what I'm saying is when you see them wrestle, it's at the occasional Ring of Honor show. It's at the occasional New Japan show. Do you know what I mean? You don't get a weekly telecast like you do with the WWE for any other promotion. Do you know what I mean? You will see Adam Cole week in, week out, pay-per-view, doing the same shtick of I do a move and I go Adam Cole and the crowd goes Baby.
Baby!
It's fucking.
I love it.
It's
I love it.
Right?
I love it. I don't know why I just love it.
Look how quick one of my favourite things at the minute, and not anymore because it got boring, was the following contest is scheduled for one fall. One fall! I fucking love that. I loved it. For about a week. And then it got stale. And then it got incredibly stale. Ty Dillinger with the 10-10-10. You don't hear that now. You don't hear 10 punches in a corner of Goldust and R-Truth, and you hear fans going 10, 10, 10. You may get a little small pocket of fans that will do.
You could argue though. I mean, if I was against the Baby, you could also argue that it's like a certain podcast that found freaking the Bobby Lashley thing funny.
No, exactly.
Hey,
exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Hey, there you go.
A certain podcast.
But I like the idea of it. But they like to do these things, don't they, NXT, where they kind of
they jump on right. NXT,
they like to sign someone new every year.
NXT is the biggest mark in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
It really is. NXT as a brand is a mark because anyone that's big or hip or new age, NXT are all well, it's Triple H, innit? Or Paul.
Yeah, but the thing I find funny about it, right? The thing I find funny about it is the last takeover we had. You had all these like marks jumping on, like you just said then. All these marks jumping on because they knew Adam Cole had just been kicked out the Bullet Club by obviously Marty Scurll and the new Fox.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, he's going to show up. He's going to be a takeover." And I was like, "No, he's not, because his contract isn't with New Japan. His contract's with ROH, and there's little loopholes that ROH have with WWE.
Yeah.
There's little loopholes that ROH have with WWE. You know, there is no 90-day. It's more like 6 months. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. But without finishing there, I've got a question for you. So, Brooklyn happens. All these, whatever you predicted happens and whatever. If you were in charge of the superstar shake-up, if it's what's being pushed to happen after SummerSlam, if you're allowed to bring up 4 guys, this could be individual, teams, managers, male, female, doesn't matter, commentators, whatever. 4 people, or that can be 4 tag teams, whatever. So one choice counts as an entity. Okay?
Right, okay.
If you could pick up 4 to bring up to either Raw or SmackDown, which 4 would you currently pick?
Ooh. It's toughy, that. Any 4?
Any 4. So, like, for me, I'll just give mine, right? So, for me,
okay.
Authors of Pain.
Right.
So that'd be 1. Sanity. That'd be 2.
Yeah.
I'd like to see, is it Peyton Royce? Is that what they call her?
Yeah, I like Peyton Royce.
Sexy as fuck her. I'd like to see her. And probably Bobby Roode. Just to see if I can back up my statement like I did with Finn Balor that he's just an entrance and no one really cares about him in ring. So they'd be my 4. Ember Moon, Bobby Roode, Authors of Pain and Sanity.
I like that. I do like that. You see, I would go. I'm going to go with Authors. I would go with the Authors of Pain because I think it's needed now.
Well, to be fair, Authors of Pain could fit on any brand because both brands, and we've spoke about this in length, both brands are so depleted with their tag team division.
Yeah.
Like if you put both brands tag teams together, you still wouldn't get a 10-team strong tag team division.
I'm going to go with Authors of Pain. I will go with Hideo Itami.
Yeah.
The
Nakamura Dream match.
He'd have to go to SmackDown. Yeah. He'd have to go to SmackDown. With Hideo Itami, I'm going to go. I would like to see Bobby Roode.
Okay.
I would like to see Bobby Roode. Like I say, it's this isn't based on what we've just talked about, but I would like to see Bobby Roode. And last, do I go? I gotta go ask. I gotta go ask her.
It's coming, isn't it? So, to be fair,
I have to go ask her. I don't want to see 600 freaking days, 700 days. It's ridiculous because, in all honesty, in a few years' time, you know, when they're talking about records and they're gonna say Asuka, I'm just gonna say, but she was just NXT champion.
Yeah, that's it.
And look at the roster. She if she'd have made 600 days right in that roster and it had contained Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bayley, I'd have listened and I'd have said, "Fuck me, that's some record."
Yeah, but look at the people that she's beaten. Look at the women she's beaten. It's.
You know, no, I'm sorry. I don't want to disrespect people because their profession isn't my profession and would kick my ass.
No,
Point blank.
Don't get me wrong. If me and Asuka had to have a wrestling match, I know which one would fucking lose, and it wouldn't be fucking Asuka.
You know, it's just a case a case of when I look at it, and you know when people are ready for the main cards, don't you?
Yeah. No,
but that isn't always down to them. But you can look at that product now, and you can look at Charlotte, and you can look at Becky Lynch, and you can look at Sasha Banks, and you can fucking hell, I'm even going to say it, Bayley to a certain extent, right? And you can see that they did everything and all they could